Welcome to Something to Talk About. Thanks for joining us here at King's Restaurant. I've got a guest for you, someone I've known for a very long time, and I know a lot about this guy for many years that I've known him, but then something happened in his life and it caught me out of left field. We're going to talk to Frankie Perez, a survivor of cancer. We are dedicating a lot of our time to Relay for Life because this is the season for it. That's what's ahead on Something to Talk About. Here at King's Restaurant, of course, we've got our old favorites. We got the lumpia, the Tanana Chutney. They do the best to tease us, and Kelligwin, of course. Fruit for those of us who are watching our svelte figure.
Yeah.
This is my friend, Frankie Perez. How are you, buddy?
I'm good. How are you?
You look great, man.
Oh, thank you.
You like took years off your life or something.
Oh, what?
Yeah.
No,
I mean, you
appreciate
look really good.
Oh, thanks. Well, you know, I'm on the uppity up, healthy lifestyle.
Yeah.
Nice.
Is that what happened? Did you turn healthy or something, or did you not?
I didn't like turn completely healthy, but I did make some life changes. Yeah, sure. Quit smoking, limited the drinking, started exercising more.
I'll tell you, this is now. I knew Frankie. Frankie obviously worked for Sorensen Media Group for a lot of years, and Frankie was a producer at one time in the afternoon show. It was for Mike Powell.
Yeah, no, it was for Travis.
For Travis. Okay,
Kaufman,
so Travis.
Yeah.
I can't even remember. So he was, and I remember in the afternoon one time listening to you talking about having quit smoking, right? And you said at the time, and I think that you guys were running stats on what happens to you at certain points after you quit smoking.
Sure.
That there's immediate reversal of some damage, right? Do you remember what that was?
Yeah.
There's
So, I guess things like your sense of smell starts coming back.
Yeah.
You know, you start to smell a lot more things.
Yeah.
Your taste, because your smell is coming back,
Yeah.
a lot more foods and things taste better. And you just kind of overall feel a little
Was it
more
also something
healthy.
about your lungs also start to like go through some kind of
Sure.
healing or recovery
I think
process?
so. I think that is, the process, after all the smoke and everything starts going, so the body starts getting rid of all the stuff that smoking does. I mean, it won't reverse things,
The damage, but
it
it
will start to, heal
Did you
a little
start
bit.
to feel better already? Like how long after you stopped smoking did you go, all right, man, I can like take a deep breath, or I'm not so huffy puffy walking, or
Maybe like 2 weeks afterwards. Actually, no, I take that back. Maybe a little sooner than that. You just kind of feel like,
air's moving through your lungs?
but it is hard, like the mental battle or the physical addiction too is hard
What
to
was it like
overcome.
after eating?
Sure.
Surely when you're having a few beers.
I like to compare it to gout. It has triggers.
That's a good.
Yeah.
Hey, is that food that's coming over on this side? Yeah. Bring
right.
it on over. Because Frankie, hey, whatever Frankie wants, Frankie gets. You
This
know
is
about
the
that
best
one.
interview
This-
ever.
I know. Well, we're good
know?
like that. So I'm just gonna give you some Portuguese sausage
right,
because
cool.
we're at
Thank
King's
you.
and this is the fried
This
rice
is the
olive.
classic right here.
This is it. I mean,
Yeah.
if you go to King's, you always know
Yeah.
at least this is on the menu.
You know, I look at other things on the menu, but then I
always
always
go
revert
back-
back to this.
I know,
This
it's
is the
the
classic.
standard.
Yeah.
So then you left Sorensen, and we lost contact with you for a little while until I don't know if you told me or if somebody came up and said, "Oh, did you know that Frankie had cancer?" I was like,
Yeah.
"What? Was that the reason you left, or did you find out after?"
It was actually, I was finding out at the time I was leaving. So it was almost like, what is it? Not coincidental, but
It was just the way
serendipity
Yeah,
almost,
serendipity,
Yeah. So.
You'll probably remember Frankie and his crazy antics when he was sports director for PNC, and the famous shot over the shoulder that
Yeah.
landed in the basket, right?
I know. It's crazy how people still come up to me and, hey,
That was a great
is
show.
that real?
Yeah. Well, of course it's real. Jeez, we're not that. We're not that.
We're not that
technical.
high-tech.
Yeah, whatever. But so you'd had this, this successful career. Mm-hmm. You'd always been in the media. I
Yeah.
mean, that's what you're most known for, right?
Yeah.
And then you're confronted with this.
Mm-hmm.
First of all, what kind of cancer was it?
Colon cancer.
No kidding.
Yeah. I think they staged it at 3. Yeah. Actually, I don't think. I know they staged it at 3.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Did
That was,
you
quite
did
a
you
surprise.
feel anything?
Oh yeah. That's
You were having like symptoms. That
I was having pains. I was having abdomen pains. So, the tumor was already at a size where it was just kind of holding things back. It was blocking stuff. So
Okay.
that's where
you
the
were
pains
having a
were
hard
coming,
time. So when you went in, did you expect it to be like? Were you thinking the worst when you went in?
Yeah. You always try and think optimistic. Of course, when the doctors are going down the checklist, like maybe it could be this. All right, it's not that. Maybe it could be this. All right, it's not that. Okay, maybe it could be this. All right, it's not
The
that.
further down on the list
So
you got, did
once you
get,
start going down the list, I'm like, in the end, me and my doctor just agreed, okay, let's just get a colonoscopy. We just got to go in there and see what's happening.
How old were you?
28 when I got
So
diagnosed.
that's out of the age range that.
Or no, sorry, 38.
38.
Yeah.
Whatever. I was gonna think you're pulling. Hey, those days are over, man. I'm sharp today. Yeah, 30. Yeah. So I mean, is that not out of the range
Oh, yeah, it is.
of the demographics, right?
As of right now, it is. But just recently, the American Cancer Society came out with some studies, or they out of the research they do, colon cancer as a whole decreased, so which is a good news. But they notice an increase in middle-aged individuals. So my age.
So there,
It's starting to come up in younger.
yeah, it started to go.
The younger age range.
So that it's decreasing in the demographic,
Yes.
but it's hitting another demographic.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
no, it's decreasing as a whole. So the
I see,
cases
okay.
of colon cancer are decreasing,
But it is increasing. In
increasing
an
at
area
a certain age,
Yeah.
which is younger than what people. So maybe I think it's the range they put was like from 30 to late 40s or 40s. So they saw an increase in that age group.
Okay.
Like a 5%
So
increase.
were you part of that trend? I mean, that was already a known trend, or was that like not yet known?
It's actually still at this time, they're just keeping an eye on it. They're just kind of saying, okay, this is interesting. We need to keep an eye on this age range. Because if in the end, if they notice that it's starting to increase at a rate, then, the recommendation to lower the screening for colon cancer is probably going to be in the future, in the near future.
You know
yeah.
what's really interesting though? It's like, here you are, a guy in his, mid to late 30s. You really had it all, you know what I mean? I mean, you really had it all in all your life. You pretty much, I mean, as long as I've known you in a professional career, you're just bebopping along. You got a good string of friends.
Yeah.
You got great activities. Life is going great.
Yeah. Well, it's still going great, Pat.
Well, I know.
It's just a little speed
And then
bump. It's not like I don't have any more friends or anything.
But now look at you.
Yeah, I know,
No.
right?
No, but the point is that then at that point, at 38, we never look at our mortality like
Sure.
that, right? So
Absolutely.
You were way too young for this to happen. I
Sure.
think, right?
Yeah. Well, at the time, you start thinking, oh, I need to make some important life changes here. I can't live the lifestyle.
Yeah.
In my 20s, obviously. And of course, exercise and all that. But it just makes it. It just expedited the process
Yeah.
for me. So,
You thought quicker
yeah.
than you would
Well,
normally have.
I have I don't know, it's kind of a joke, but I would joke to people, when we talk about these things, I say, careful what you ask God. Because, in my prayers, I'd be like, please, Lord, help me with my vices, help me quit smoking, help me, control my drinking, help me, exercise more, help me just live a healthier lifestyle, which is basically what I've been asking for. And in one moment in my life, I think God went, all right, you know what, Frankie, you're not really going to do it for yourself.
Here's a message.
Here's a
for you.
message for you. I'm going to control all of those things at one time. Watch.
Wow.
And then, so that's the way I kind of look at it. So,
That's a good way of
You
looking
know.
at it. I mean, it worked.
well, yeah,
It
and that's what I
worked.
tell people. Hey, if it really wasn't for that, me getting cancer, who knows what I'd still be doing? Who knows, but absolutely, and it's just, everything just comes into
Yeah.
perspective.
But you also, I mean, aside from the physical discomforts of what
Mm-hmm.
you were having, a lot of people tend to just live with that pain, and then
Sure.
after a while, it's been there so long
And
you
it's
don't
too
notice,
late,
right?
yeah,
Or you
yeah.
don't even notice. I mean, it's
Yeah.
like a part of it. It's like, you're creaking and you get up, and
Sure.
it's there.
But what worried me was, growing up, I didn't really, I knew of colon cancer, and, I read some stories like Katie Couric's husband
Yeah.
and things like that. And so what kind of worried me initially was, they say when you start to feel the pains, it's already in its later stage. And that's where I was at. So when I got told you have cancer, I was like, I was feeling the pains, so you just
You
gotta.
already knew it.
Well, but fortunately, it wasn't, too far gone. It wasn't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? We're going to take a quick break so I can let you eat some of your food.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But on the other side of it, cancer afflicted your family, your mother,
My mom,
before it
yeah.
afflicted you. And I remember that was a tough time, you going through it.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to just ask you after we come back from the break. And before we start talking about Relay for Life, what feels worse?
Yeah,
You know what I
sure.
mean? That's what's ahead. We're talking to my friend Frankie Perez. We'll be right back from King. It's really hard not to hack it. That even looks
know.
really good. I'm not a big
Watch out.
over easy like yogi girl.
What?
I know, but when I see people eat it like that, do you eat ketchup with that?
I do.
Oh, you
but
want some? Did they
it's
tell you
far,
like
yeah.
there's like certain foods that you can't? I mean, when you were undergoing like therapy, what did you do anyway?
I did 6 months of chemo.
Okay,
Yeah.
so during that, you didn't have a diet? I mean, you didn't really have an appetite, or?
Well, life sucks when you're on chemo. Just put it
Well,
that way.
there's that. Yeah.
It does. Since all those chemicals are running through your body, it does change your body. So, taste, and I was just like, okay, hey, things are gonna taste different. Until it happens, you're like, wow, that really tastes different. So,
Yeah.
one of the advice I got was, don't eat your favorite foods because
Oh,
you're
'cause
gonna
then-
ruin it.
Oh, you'll have bad.
Yeah,
you'll have
you have bad
memories.
memories of it. So.
Oh, that's a good. Okay, that's
Yeah,
that's
so,
a good one.
yeah.
Yeah. Don't eat your favorite food.
Yeah, but I got the hints from books and just adding 1 drop of lemon. It's weird, I know. I was like 1 drop. They're like 1 drop, maybe 2, or a little dash of salt, just a little bit. And to my
Very
surprise, it completely changed the composition of the
Isn't
taste.
that interesting?
Yeah, because it has something to do with your taste buds and what the taste buds are.
Yeah.
So
Tricking them is what they were doing.
tricking, yeah, that's a good term.
So I wanted to get to the question. Cancer hit home,
Yeah.
but it came close to home before it hit home.
Yeah, well, it
Or is
get-
it the opposite?
No, it got closer and closer and closer. So,
I mean, with you,
I have 2 grandparents that died from cancer, one from my dad's side and one from my mom's side. And then, obviously, my mom got breast cancer, was diagnosed with breast cancer a year before I got diagnosed with cancer.
Yeah.
So,
So that's what you're saying. It just came closer and closer.
yeah,
to home.
yeah. So, actually, when my mom got breast cancer, that kind of,
That was
Was a
jarring.
shock.
I remember
Yeah.
that. I remember there was like one day at work and then you weren't.
yeah.
And then you'd accompanied her to the Philippines,
Yeah,
right?
so
the
she can get
diagnosis and
treatment and, yeah, things like that, because,
That must have been the hard part, though. It's
Yeah.
one thing when you're dealing with your own pain and your own emotions, but it's another
Yeah.
when you're seeing somebody you love
yeah.
do that and be so scared.
Sure, but my mom, she was strong. Never seen her emotional about it. She just kind of said, "Okay, what are we gonna do next?" and did it. And,
Wow.
and I saw a lot of her faith, be
Take charge.
an important part of it, and so I was her caregiver. So at that Relay for Life, I walked around with her as the caregiver, and little did I know, a year later,
You would be
I'd
that
be the
person.
survivor too.
How
yeah.
did she respond to you? That must have been triple hard as a mother watching your son.
Yeah, but you know, it was more like this: if I can do it, you can do it. You know.
If I could get through it, you could get
Yeah,
through it.
you know,
Yeah.
ain't no thing.
Yeah.
Have faith in God,
Yeah.
and you know, things will work out all right.
And that's another thing. Was your faith like magnified, or because you
Certainly.
have,
Certainly,
you've always
yeah.
been like a faithful guy.
Sure,
right?
yeah, I went to church every Sunday, you know. But yeah, I mean, you do, when you hear the words, I have cancer, you do have to make your peace with your maker. You know, you have to be ready for, you know, what
Anything.
what you hope is not the outcome. So,
Was that the first thing you did after getting the diagnosis? Was the what was the first question? Was it, am I going to die?
no,
Was it?
well,
am
no,
I
the
gonna
first
die?
question was how bad is it? You know, because I know that, I knew enough to know that if it's isolated or if it's spread, you know, what you don't want is if it spreads, but there's still hope too if it does spread.
So when they gave you this prognosis that if we treat it with chemotherapy, then there's a what chance, a percentage chance of it all going?
I got an 85% chance that this will work because colon cancer is already a familiar cancer. It's like breast cancer. It's one of the most common cancers out there. So, you know, it's no surprise to the doctors, or you know, they're not like trying to figure out, okay, maybe this will work, okay, maybe this will work. They already have a regimen of chemotherapy, you know, how long to do it, how many times to do it, and what to look out for. So, you know, when they take out the tumor, if they can take out the tumor, what they do is they pull out some of the lymph nodes around the area, because the lymph nodes is the bus that carries the cancer around the body and lets it off at the different stops. So based on how many lymph nodes are affected, they can kind of,
Control?
not control, but they can kind of gauge how much it's spread. So in my case, they pulled out 20 lymph nodes, and I believe all 20 were clear. So that was
What was
good
that
news.
like coming
That
out
was
of-
the good news.
What kind of surgery is it? Is it
So it's a
like
partial colectomy.
Okay.
So what they do is, since they couldn't pull it out, they have to cut out a part of my colon and then reattach it.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry about that.
No, it's okay.
And reattach it.
Yeah, reattach it together. So they take out the section that has the tumor, and then they reattach the two parts.
Wow.
Yeah, and so the doctor said, fortunately, your colon's longer than normal, so I have a lot to
I
work
always
with.
knew that about you.
He was like,
I think I
have a
read that
lot.
on you.
He was like, you're making my job easier. I have a lot to work with.
I read that in the bathroom
Right.
also. Frankie's colon's bigger than yours.
I was like, thanks, Doc. It's,
It's, you know. hey.
yeah, it's hereditary.
After you were dying, I mean, after the surgery was over and you found out, you know, hey, we got it all. Was that what's that moment feel like?
That's where my faith really
That was it.
got stronger. I went immediately to church, you know, in the hospital, and I cried my eyes out, you know, thanking God, and you know, all right, I'm ready for this, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, you know, and then I just put all my trust in Him, and I said, hey, you know, this is not my my decision. This is your decision. So, you know, whatever. I know you can't give me things I can't handle. So, as tough as this is going to be,
The acceptance was
the acceptance was there.
is a leap
yeah.
of faith right
Yeah,
there.
Yeah.
So I got to ask you, because we only got a few more
Yeah,
minutes
yeah,
left.
sure.
We got off the golly. There's some Donny in here that's just making our eyes water. I don't know how that happened.
Yeah. I'm just gonna tilt my
We're
head back.
fine.
Yeah.
When you there's that first relay for life, right?
Yeah.
I mean, then you got real connected. I mean,
Oh,
literally
yeah.
got connected to the
Yeah.
American Cancer Society.
Yeah.
And then and you know, that's like one of those events as broadcasters,
Mm-hmm.
right? They come and they do the public service announcements, and you kind of think about it, but you don't, you know.
Yeah.
But once you're in it,
Yeah.
that's a whole nother witnessing it, but being
Sure.
a survivor
Yeah.
must be incredible.
And then I also realized, Relay for Life has been going on this whole, for a long time. I'm standing outside the circle.
Yeah.
I'm not in the circle. So
Right.
now I'm in the circle. And now I realize how important Relay for Life is. Because the medicine I took, the chemotherapy drugs I took, was founded by research by the American Cancer Society researchers. And all that research is funded by all the Relay for Lives
Events,
across
okay.
the nation.
Yeah.
And so, that was a little eye-opener saying, oh man, if it wasn't for all these Relay for Lives, American Cancer Society wouldn't have had money to pay for these researchers
Yeah.
to find these drugs. So a lot of the drugs that, breast cancer patients get, and all that.
It's there.
That's-
These are, I was just talking to Dr. Corin Watanabe.
Yeah, she's here.
Yeah,
on
I
Guam.
was talking to
Yeah.
her yesterday on the radio, and she broke it down, man. She broke it down where I was like, it was gripping because you don't make the connection. Oh yeah, you're throwing money at this, you're throwing at cancer. Everybody's got cancer. Everybody's getting cancer.
Yeah.
There's no cure for cancer,
Yeah.
right? And then you talk to her about, hey, we went for a dive. We collected 52 samples. We cultured them all. We pulled them extracted from the solvents, and then eventually, hopefully, we'll find a drug. That's
Yeah.
drug development. You
Yeah.
go, oh,
Yeah.
and then where does all this money come from? Because that's a long process. The current medication, what's it called? Taxol?
I'm not sure.
Whatever the most popular, most
Yeah.
commonly
Okay.
used.
I think it depends on the cancer.
Cancer
too.
blockage,
Yeah.
cancer blocking medicines was developed. She said it took 30 years of research to
research,
develop that
Yeah.
drug.
Yeah.
So when we talk about how just exact a person's commitment to supporting these events, you go, okay, this is how it translates.
Sure, and the goal is to find a cure.
Right.
So the beauty about Dr.
Watanabe.
Watanabe is that these researchers are young, they're thinking outside the
Yeah.
box.
Yeah.
They're saying, hey, there's things in the water that we can use, and
microbes. She said was her
microbes,
thing, so-
exactly. And it's just it's hope that they're giving all of us. They're giving us hope, saying, we're working to find a cure. And like you said, everything costs money. So and these researches don't come cheap. But that's what Relay for Life is for. That's why we work so hard for this one event to raise all this money. And I've heard the term, well, it doesn't stay on Guam. But I'm proof that it comes back to Guam. The medicine I took was solely funded by Relay for Life and the American Cancer Society. And one thing I want to bring up, though, is that Guam's Relay for Life is 6th in the nation for raising money.
I hear that.
Yeah.
I hear that we have made a dent.
Yeah,
Yeah.
a serious dent, and eyes are on Guam, So that's why we have Dr. Watanabe here to do things, because she's recognizing that, a lot of the fundage is coming from this little island in the middle of the Pacific. And when they announced it, we went to a conference and they announced it. It was almost like we were rock stars out there, because everybody's like, how are you doing this? What's going on?
Wow.
What's happening on Guam that you're raising all this money? And we're just like,
People just come out. It's actually very
Yeah.
organic how it happens.
Sure.
The way that people, there's
Yeah.
no big push.
No.
There's not like, some money incentive that's hanging over anybody's head.
Yeah.
People just do it because they have a good time doing these events. yeah.
Sure, and I think it's, being such a small-knit community,
Yeah.
there's 3 degrees, maybe even 1 degree of somebody that you know,
Separation,
separation that somebody with cancer, So
Well, they're giving us the signal that this is the end.
Oh,
Thank you,
gosh.
buddy. I know.
it's over already.
I know. We were just getting into it. Thank my
Yeah.
friend.
Oh,
It's
thank
so
you.
good to see you.
Yes.
It's so good to see you. We'll see you next time on something to talk about.